I love this because at home I have 3 younger sisters, but a room full of men, all the testosterone, I love it. I just want to run through a brick wall or something, It's just, it's great. So on Friday, I was thinking about what I was going to talk to you guys about, actually. And I was talking with one of my friends, having dinner with her. I said, yeah, I'm talking to men. She said, oh yeah, what are you talking about? I said, I'm going to talk about strength. She's like, do you have any suggestions? Coming from a woman. And she looks at me kind of frankly, and she says, yeah, tell them don't be stupid. Okay, helpful, thanks. But I thought about it a little bit, and I thought about all the times in my life that I've done really stupid stuff. One of the first things that stands out to me is when I was in kindergarten. When I was in kindergarten, I used to take the bus to school, and my bus stop was just around the corner, just out of my mom's view. Perfect. And during the winter, it was at the bottom of the hill. During the winter, the hill would freeze over, and it'd be ice. So, of course, what we did is we'd get a running head start and woo! Go sliding down the ice. Now, my mother knew we did this, and if you don't know it now, you'll come to know that mothers know everything. She knew that I was doing this, and she told me, Nick, I don't want you sliding on that ice. You're going to fall, and you're going to get a hole in your pants. I was in kindergarten. Very practical example. And so, of course, a couple days later, I'm out there, and woo! Sliding down, and I fell. Bus came, got on the bus, didn't think much of it, and a friend points out to me, hey Nick, your chin's bleeding. Oh shoot, there's a lot of blood. So I get to school, and I'm in the secretary's office, and she's like, hey, we're gonna have to call your mom. You might have to go to the hospital, get stitches, whatever. I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. So she calls my mom, and I was in kindergarten, so when mom shows up, I kind of start to get a little emotional. Mom, I'm so sorry. But I didn't get a hole in my pants. Just my chin. But even in kindergarten, this was almost kind of embarrassing for me. I didn't have a cool story about how I got this tough scar on my chin. It was just my stupidity. And as men, we all have scars or whatever. We want to have a cool story to show how tough we are, how strong we are. I got one on my arm. I was trying to skateboard on a treadmill. Not exactly the tough story that I want to tell to all my friends. So we have all these expectations of what it means to be a man, what it means to be strong. Society tells us, and our fathers tell us, and they say, rub some dirt on it, suck it up, be a man. Or, my personal favorite, don't be a girl. Thanks, that's helpful. But what does that really mean? How are we supposed to do that? When I think about expectations, I think about my football career. I love the game of football. For a long part of my life, I loved it. I did everything for football. I worked super hard. Most of the time, I'd rather have a football under my arm than a girl. Most of the time. And so I grew up playing football, and by the time I got to high school, I was pretty good at it, and I worked hard. I even by the time I was a senior, I was an all-state football player. And to me, that meant a lot. That was something that I took a lot of pride in. When you're an all-state football player, the expectation is that you're going to go to college. You're going to go to college, you're going to play football. My dad played college football, so it just made sense that I would play college football. And I got recruited by a couple different schools, and eventually I chose St. Norbert. I liked the campus, I liked the coaches, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go play football there. But when I got there, it wasn't what I expected. It wasn't a culture that I wanted to be a part of. It wasn't a culture that I stood for. It made me uncomfortable. I began to get obsessed. I just wanted to be stronger. I wanted to be faster. And I poured all this time, all of me, into being a better football player. Because that's what I thought strength was. Eventually, I started to think about this, and I thought, maybe I don't want to play football anymore. But I had all these expectations, all my friends, all my coaches. and especially my father, what are they going to think? What are they going to think of me as a man if I tell them that I don't want to play football anymore? And I was afraid. I was afraid of what they were going to say. So what I did is I built up the courage slowly. I started talking to my high school coaches, my friends, telling them how I felt. Eventually I built up the courage to talk to my dad. I went up to my dad and I said, "Dad, I don't think I want to play football anymore." He asked me, "Is that what you really want?" I said, "Yeah." And I had opportunities. When I was a freshman, I was a true freshman. I started on special teams. I could have earned a spot this year if I worked hard enough. I had opportunities to be a great football player, but it was consuming who I was. And I said, "Yeah, Dad. I'm serious about it." And he looked at me, and I'll never forget this. He said, "You know what, Nick? No matter what you do, I'm going to be proud of you. I love watching you play football, but if you don't want to play football, that's okay. You're going to go on and you're going to do other amazing things." Now, to me, to have the support of my dad meant everything. When he told me that, I almost started to get emotional and tear up because it meant so much to know that my dad had my back. And this whole time, I was thinking about how I thought that to be a good football player was what it meant to be strong. To be able to go out there and deadlift 500 pounds, to be able to do all these things, this is what it means to be a strong man. I was proud to be a member of the team. I was proud to be a college football player. But that wasn't everything I stood for. It's a struggle. These things are not easy. Our culture is just going to challenge us over and over to not be strong. And we're going to fail. There's going to be times where you're going to fail, you're going to struggle. But in these times, don't forget to ask for help. Do what I did. Go to your friends. Ask for help. Ask for strength. Ask for support. We need to be there for each other as men. And the hard thing about that is to really do that, you have to invite other people into your weakness. You have to become vulnerable and admit, yeah, I have weaknesses. I struggle too. When I think about this, I think about the other night. It was about a month ago. I was in the gym. Do that a lot if you can't tell. I was working hard, lifting, and I got a phone call. I don't recommend bringing your phone to the gym, but I listened to music on my phone, and it was ringing in my headphones. I forgot to silence it. It was from my friend. I picked it up. "Hey man, what's up?" "Hey man, are you in your room right now?" "No, I'm at the gym. What's up?" I don't know. I can be at my room in 3 minutes." Yeah, that'd be good." So I hang up the phone. I left all my stuff in the gym, and I ran over to my room. He wasn't there when I got there, but I texted him. I said, "Hey man, where you at?" Eventually he came into my room, stood before me. The look on his face of just pain. Eventually he fell into my arms, crying. I didn't know what to do. I told him everything was going to be all right. And what I learned about my friend is he has some pretty severe depression. And his girlfriend, who also has severe depression, had just broke up with him. He was worried about her. He was struggling himself, and he didn't know what to do. When I think about that night, I don't think of him as any less of a man. I don't think of him as weak. If anything, I admire him all the more because what he did is he did the hard thing. He did what's hard to do, and I think that's what strength is. Strength is doing what you don't want to do. Strength is sucking it up and taking the hard route. When I think about this, I think about what society tells us. Society wants us to take the easy route. When you're hungry, the easy thing to do is to go and eat a bunch of donuts, like 30 of them. The hard thing to do is to eat something healthy. When you're tired, the easy thing to do is sleep in. The hard thing to do is to get up and go to the gym and get better. When you see a beautiful woman, the easy thing to do is to lust. But it takes strength and courage to say, you know what? Thank you, Jesus, for that beautiful woman. I'm going to be better. When you're alone at night on the internet, it's easy to end up on the wrong websites. It's easy. And our culture is going to tell us that's okay. But that's not what it means to be a man. To be a man is to struggle. To be a man is to take the hard route and do what you don't want to do. I think about Jesus when he's standing before Pilate. Pilate looks at him and says, "Behold the man." Jesus was the man. He was the man that we all want to aspire to be. He's the perfect role model. And what he does is he goes, he picks up his cross, and he does what's hard. And he's a man. He didn't want to. The night before, Jesus is in Gethsemane. He did not want to take that cross, man. He's asking his Father, "Father, take this cup from me." But you know what? He did it anyways. He picked up his cross and he carried it. He did what was hard to do. Society is going to tell you to take the easy way out. And they're going to say, listen to these expectations. Play football, waste your life, go out, just become part of the culture because that's what's easy. But to be a man, to be truly strong, is to say, no, I'm going to take the hard route. I'm better than that. I'm going to be a better man. So I want you guys to think about that. I want you guys to think about inviting people into your struggle. I want you to be willing to ask for help. And I want you to think about what it is that you don't want to do. What it is that's challenging you. What it is that's hard. Because that's probably what you should be doing.